discussion is the holy arrogance. The holy arrogance owning the power to declare. The holy arrogance owning the power to declare. Okay, so the quote that we are going to use is from Joel 3:10 in scripture. Joel 3:10. Now, Joel 3:10, what does it say? Oh. All right, Joel 3:10 says, let the weak say, I am strong, right? Not let the weak feel strong. Not let the weak reprogram till they are accepted that they're strong by the subconscious, but let the weak say, I am strong, right? Just a declaration. Remember, Job 22:28 is thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be added unto thee. To decree is to speak as a legal authority. These are important points. When we talk about decreeing, to speak as a legal authority. Speak as a legal authority, okay? Let the weak say, I am strong. Because I am is a statement of absolute truth and absolute conviction. So let's get into this. Here's the beginning. There is a sacred confidence that religion has taught you to fear. You were told that to speak as God is arrogance, but to deny the God within you is the greater blasphemy. When you declare I am, you are remembering. You are aligning your voice with the word that spoke creation into existence. The universe doesn't respond to the cries of the uncertain. It responds to the conviction of the one who knows. Okay? Now, to the uninitiated, to the beginner on this journey, that can sound daunting. The universe does not respond to the cries of the uncertain. But what about my doubts? But what about my fear? But I don't see it yet. I'm trying to make myself believe. Okay? It responds to the conviction of the one who knows. Keyword, knows. 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 Not your thoughts, not your emotions. What you know, what you accept to be the truth. All right? So this is going to build on what we've been talking about, right? I don't care about your thoughts. I don't care about your emotions. I simply care about what you accept as the truth. Boom. That is what the unconditional nature of God is. I don't care about your emotions. I don't care about your thoughts. Those are just there for you to have a human experience. I simply care about what I unconditionally support you on what you accept to be the truth. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Your thoughts and your emotions are there for the human experience. They're just there for you to perceive, experience separation, duality, anger, love, hate, jealousy, all those things. That's the human experience. But you are unconditionally supported just in the truth that you accept. What do you accept to be true? All right. Every I am is a brushstroke on the canvas of reality, painting the unseen into form. To say I am healed, hear this, to say I am healed while the body trembles isn't delusion. Think of it as divine defiance. It is prophecy in motion, calling the invisible into visibility. Right? It doesn't say let the weak be strong. Let the weak feel strong. It says let the weak say I am strong. To say I am healed while the body trembles isn't delusion, right? Why not? This is a statement of conviction. I am prosperity. I am whole. I am healed. I am abundant. I am loved. These are statements of absolute certainty, absolute conviction, because I am just as the truth. I am is the truth. I am all these things. So when I decree from my I amness, that is what? That is conviction. That is knowing. I'm making a decree, a declaration of the truth. I know. I get like $1 million a game in every video. $1 million in every video. All right. So true humility isn't shrinking before divinity. It's embodying it. The weak who whisper, I am strong, are not pretending. They're speaking from a higher law that supersedes circumstance. I am supersedes circumstance. Okay. The eternal I am lends its authority to every tongue that dares to declare truth over illusion. Out there is the illusion. Okay? These things are just here for me to have a human experience. The thoughts, illusions. The emotions, illusions. The circumstances, but they feel real. I get it. I know. They do to all of us. They're still illusions. There's one truth. It's I am. I am the truth. This is what Jesus was talking about. I am the truth. He wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the I am that speaks and dwells within all of us. All of us, every single one. Okay? Here we go. The eternal I am lends its authority to every tongue that dares to declare truth over illusion. You were not made to beg. You are God. You were made to speak with dominion. Every word is a seed, and your world blooms according to your declarations. Now, when I say the word, when we say the word, right? Some people are like, oh, the word, and they pick up a Bible. The word. No. Sit your ass down. Okay? The word is I am. The word is I am. The only truth of reality is I am, I exist. Everything else is a story built upon that. I am Alex. I am is the truth. Alex, it's a character that I play. All right. But I am is the truth. All right. Next. The arrogant say, I can do it without God. The arrogant say, I can do it without God. The holy say, I and the Father are one. When you remember this, your words stop describing your life and begin designing it. Stop using your words. Stop using your truth, your statements of truth to describe the shit that you don't want anymore. Your statements of truth are divine design. This is how you design your life. Right? We often call it, oh, we're trapped in the matrix. No, you're just trapped in a mirror. That's all. You're just in a mirror. Well, the matrix this. Well, this, that, right? Well, the situation this, but government's this. So do you want to accept that as your truth or not? You have a choice. You always have a choice. To think that you do not have a choice is to what? It's to say that whatever you're seeing is greater than God. The only prison that you have is the prison within your own mind, the prison that you place yourself in. Okay. Now, in the beginning, this can be a very discombobulating realization. Like, damn, you mean this is my fault? But eventually it becomes the greatest liberation. Yes. Because if I choose this, then I can choose different. And I can choose right now. I don't have to reprogram anything. I don't have to feel better about anything. I simply need to accept the truth. The truth is that because I'm God, I am prosperity. This is just a statement of truth. Cool. All right. Don't mistake your power for pride. You were never meant to whisper prayers of permission. You're meant to command light into being. Each time you say I am, you resurrect the divine memory that sleeps in man. Oops, 1 second, y'all. There we go. There we go. Every time you say I am, you resurrect the divine memory that sleeps in men. The world may call it arrogance. Let them. They don't yet remember who they are. The world can call it blasphemous, arrogance. Let them. They don't yet remember who they are. Keep declaring from the throne within you until the mirror bows to your knowing, right? It was the question that we had in this last life, right? Well, isn't that delusional, thinking that you can change your reality? It's always delusional until it works. And then you're asking me how I did it. It's all delusional. Until my words is like, hey, how did you do that? What did you do? Yeah. This is not delusion. What isn't delusion? Saying it's gonna work, delusion. Saying it's not gonna work, delusion. Both of them are just imaginal declarations of what you believe to be true, of your truth. And both will be proven to you. Why choose what you don't want to experience? Okay? Keep declaring from the throne within you until the mirror bows to your knowing. Don't pray for strength. Speak as strength. You're not on a journey to try to feel strong. to try to get strong. You are remembering that you are strength. You don't need to be strong. You are strength. You don't need to feel powerful. You are power. You're not just powerful. You're all powerful. You're not just powerful. You are all powerful. All right. Don't wait for peace. Embody peace. You are the breath of God made conscious. You are the prophecy fulfilled. Walk in the holy arrogance of remembrance. For when you say, I am, the universe says, and so it is. Okay? Now, oftentimes we talk about this, right? Like your words create reality or shape reality or bend the universe. It is much deeper than that. God is pure awareness. God is all that there is. Everything is neutral. The substance of God flows from you, and you are the center of reality. You are God standing in the middle of yourself. Your words reorganize God. Your words reorganize God. It is not just your words shape reality. It is much more profound than that. You are the creator. You are the source. God is all that there is. To experience his creative power within this world, earth, universe, your divine ass is made manifest. You are the place where divinity and identity meet. A single perspective of all that there is here to experience itself. Absolutely beautiful. Your words move God. Your truth moves God. Because you are God. All right? Because you are God. Next, the holy arrogance, owning the power to declare. Owning the power to declare. Okay? The world has mistaken meekness for smallness. So we're going to talk about meekness. All right? What does meek mean? What does meek mean? Okay? So Matthew 5:5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Meek. Meek. Blessed are the meek. Meek Millie? Who you talking about, Alex? No, not Meek Mill, y'all. All right, so let's talk about meek. All right, so spiritually, meekness means the one who has power yet chooses peace. Okay, check out this story. You're gonna like this shit, all right? So in Greek, the word used for meek is praus. In Greek, the word used for meek is praus, all right? Which was often used to describe a trained war horse. Yeah, a trained war horse. A powerful creature that could destroy, but whose will was perfectly aligned with its master. I know you fucking hear me. This is a beast that can kick your face off with no problem. Yet it's perfectly aligned with his master. So when Christ said the meek will inherit the earth, he wasn't talking about the ones that run away. He wasn't speaking of those who avoid conflict. He was speaking of those who no longer let their ego lead the charge. The meek have power, but it is governed by spirit. Their tongue, their emotions, their reactions are under divine discipline. All right, let's hear another verse that's likened to this or talks a little bit more about this. All right, Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that rules his spirit than he that takes a city. So this is meekness, right? The mastery that comes from stillness and the authority that moves without aggression. This is meekness. So when it says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth, it's not talking about the timid. It's not talking about one day a savior will come save you for turning your back on yourself. No. The savior is within you. You are the savior. If you turn your back on yourself, reality will as well. The meek are the ones that know their power. They are governed by spirit. This is all it means. This is all that it means, all right? So this is meekness. So the world has confused humility with denial. Humility with denial, and reverence with forgetfulness. Forgetfulness is just forgetfulness. Yet God does not glorify the one who hides his light. Why not, you would say? Why not? Because God is only looking to unconditionally reflect you and who you're being. So if you're hiding your light, then what are you going to be reflected as? Right? Remember, this God, we speak of God like it's a being. Like God is pure spirit, right? But this spirit is impersonal. It's not looking to play favorites. It is impersonal, impartial, unconditional. So you hiding your light is you being someone who what? Hides their light so reality reflects. But you knowing who you are. You standing in the fullness of your divinity. This is what Jesus meant when he said, I and the Father are one, but the Father is greater than I. I of myself can do nothing but the Father. Right? It's not talking about some being in the sky. What is of myself can do nothing mean? It's talking to all of us. It means that ego, that personality, the one that strives and reacts and fears and doubts and trusts and believes. And that part of you does nothing. It's the I am, the infinite part of me, the truth of me, the real self. That's the one that does the work. So this is what meekness is. This personality can be angry, but I sit back in the knowing that I'm infinite and I let I am do the work. Right? I am prosperity. Therefore, prosperity unfolds from the God within me. The ego just has the human experience and loves it. The ego just enjoys the ride. It just enjoys the ride. It judges. It gets frightened. It gets happy. It gets down. It's just a human. It's a child. It's just a child enjoying reality. But I am does the work. Okay? I trust that makes sense. So here we go. There is a holy arrogance in remembering who you are. So it is not pride, it's prophecy. When you say I am, you're not declaring independence from God. You're declaring union with God. You're speaking from the center of creation where every word becomes law. Right? It is not my philosophy to sit here and demonize a part of me. The ego is just as much a part of the all as I am. It's simply a construct. It's a concession that we make. It's not something to demonize or criticize or anything like that. It's not creating. It's simply here for me to have a human experience. I don't have to sit here and beat it up and sit here and judge it and make it into this monster within me. And then sometimes I have certain desires and I say, oh no, it's the ego that desires it, but it's not me. The ego is not a thing. It's not a being. It's not a person. It's just a way that we speak through concessions so we can explain the infinite. There is only God. There's no me or you. There is only God. The ego is not holding us back. It is us when we sit back in our power and start declaring that the ego holds us back. There is not a thought or an emotion that can keep you from what you want. There is not. It doesn't even do anything. So whether you trip out with it, whether you observe it, whether you fight it, doesn't matter. However, if you're sitting around and you're fighting it all day, I can guarantee you're going to have a less fulfilling human experience because all day you're going to be sitting there engaging with something that isn't even real. It's not even real. But if we sit in our power and continue to give it form and shape and make it this demonic being within us, ego this, ego that, ego that, ego this. And then we wonder why we're constantly fighting day in and day out. If it doesn't even create, why are you even engaging? Why not just enjoy it when you merge into this human personality and you're merged into this woman that's in front of you? Enjoy it. And when you're doubting, remind yourself that this part of me doesn't create anyway. Give yourself permission to honor your humanity. The question that I always ask y'all, how can you honor your divinity and your humanity? How can you honor both your divinity and your humanity? How can you understand that even that your humanity is a perfect part of your divinity? It's not separate. There's no separation. How can you accept that your humanity is a perfect part of your divinity? Even the forgetting is part of the remembering. Exactly, right? It's nothing to stress about. It's nothing to stress about. Simply allow yourself to be yourself. And know that what I declare as the truth will create. Everything else is just the circus. I don't have to try to reorganize the circus. The circus is the circus. It's supposed to be fun. It's just an experience. Some parts might annoy me. Some parts I think are cute. Some parts are funny. Some parts I want to leave on. Either way, it's just the circus. I don't fix it. That's the nature of the circus. You try to walk into the circus and fix it. That's what it is. That's just what it is. Okay? So here we go. When you say I am, you're not declaring independence from God. You're declaring union with him. You're speaking from the center of creation where every word becomes law. All right? Next part. The power of I am, the name that creates. When Moses asked, who shall I say sent me? The quote unquote voice of God said, I am that I am, right? Exodus 3:14. I am that I am. But an unveiling of identity. God did not say I was or I will be. He didn't give a name. He didn't say Jehovah. I am the one true God, yada, yada, yada. It was simply I am, right? Eternal presence, right? Whatever you want to call it, timeless authority. Right? The unchanging being. Each time you say I am, you touch the same current that spoke worlds into existence. I am is the divine password that unlocks manifestation. To declare I am abundance, right? I am healed, I am prosperity, I am loved is not wishful thinking. It is aligning your inner speech with the eternal word that cannot return void. All right. So Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. Right. And I'm sure we're familiar with this, right? We've talked about this several times. So shall my word, the word, right? I am. I am. So shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, right? What do you accept as the truth about you? Okay? Every spoken decree is a seed carrying divine intelligence. When consciousness speaks through the authority of I am, creation is obligated to respond. The word that leaves the mouth of awareness is not sound, but substance. It is spirit and vibration shaping itself into form. God's word never returns empty because the moment it's spoken, it begins to move through invisible corridors of cause and effect until the intention is fulfilled. Poetic. In the same way, when you speak from your divine nature, rather than your fear, your words become law. They travel beyond emotion and echo in the fabric of reality until manifestation takes root. They travel beyond emotion. This is why speech is sacred. The tongue is the brush. The heart is the ink. The heart is the ink. The tongue is the brush. Why the heart? Why is it as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he? Why not just as a man thinketh? Why not just as a man thinketh? Why thinketh in the heart? What is important about the heart? Remember, when we talk about the heart center, most people think love. No, it's deeper than that. It's not just love. What also is associated with the heart? Knowing, righteousness. Righteousness is going to be the most important thing when it comes to the heart center. Righteousness. What is righteousness? When I speak of righteousness, I'm not talking about the sense of morality, the human, created sense of morality, climbing some ladder of righteousness till you get to some God in the sky. That's a fairy tale. No God in the sky. God is everywhere, omnipresent. When we talk about righteousness, we're talking about this. Remember, in scripture, it says Abraham believed in the Lord. Remember, Lord in all caps in the Old Testament refers to what? The law. It's not saying Abraham believed in God. It says Abraham believed in the Lord, the law, and it was counted to him as righteousness. What does this mean? Abraham was supposed to have descendants like the stars, right? That was his vision. But he was old as shit. His wife was barren. Then he had his first son, and this God, right, said sacrifice him. All right, cool. You got a kid, take him up there, sacrifice him. Right? Even through that, right, Abraham believes in the Lord. That's righteousness. It was counted to him as righteousness. Righteousness is trusting, knowing that what I know is the truth. The inner vision is the truth. Okay? So this is what we talk about. When we talk about the heart center, the heart is what do you accept as the truth? The situation is what it is, but I am that I am. Okay? The bank account is what it is, but I am that I am. I am prosperity. Why? Because I am God. Because God dwells within me. Okay? So this is what righteousness is. Right? So the tongue is the brush. The heart is the ink. The knowing of who you are. When you accept the truth that I am prosperity, I am love, right? That person is within me. They can't go. There's no separation in consciousness. They are within me. Where could they go? There is only me. There's no one else. Who else could they be with? Now you begin to tell the truth in spirit. All right? So the heart is the ink and awareness is the canvas. What is awareness? Everything. Okay? So your words are painting, right? The words, the heart is the ink and awareness is the canvas. Every declaration either reinforces illusion or gives life to truth. Hear that. Every declaration either reinforces illusion or gives life to truth. When your inner and outer worlds align with the divine will, when you speak not as a beggar, but as one who knows, you participate in the eternal echo of Isaiah's promise. Nothing uttered from love, faith, and knowing can return void, for the universe itself was spoken into being by that same breath. Boom. The universe itself was spoken into being by the same breath that animates you. Therefore, when you decree whatever, that is the same breath that animated this universe. Do you understand your power? Have you accepted who you are yet? Or are you still flirting? Are you still flirting on the edge? Or have you stepped into divine knowing of the truth? Okay? You are the mouth of God when you speak from awareness. You are the mouth of God when you speak from awareness. I'm going to say that 3 times for your divine mind. Okay? Here's number 3. You are the mouth of God when you speak from awareness. Beautiful. All right. Number 2, the sin of false humility. The sin of false humility. Humanity has been taught to pray as beggars instead of creators, to seek from the outside what was implanted within. False humility says, I am nothing. But spirit whispers, you are everything because I am in you. To say I am unworthy, okay? You know what I'm saying? The world will say this is humility. Humble yourself before the Lord as if God could ever be in front of you. God is within you. God is not a location outside of you. God is eternity within you. Right? So spirit whispers you're everything because I am in you. To say I am unworthy isn't modesty, it's idolatry. It places unworthiness on the throne where God belongs. Every time you diminish yourself, you diminish the one who breathes through you. The mystics knew this truth, right? So quote from Rumi that we always talk about. You're not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. You're not a drop in the ocean. You're the entire ocean within a drop. Right? Huh, interesting. Cool. I just realized a new YouTube tool. My bad, y'all. I didn't know I could do like polls and stuff on YouTube. That's cool. Can I do polls on TikTok? I'm gonna figure that out after this stream. I'm gonna look into that. All right. So you're not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. All right. So here's a quote from Meister Eckhart. Quote from Meister Eckhart. The eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. And we talk about that one all the time too, right? To remember this is holy arrogance. Holy arrogance. The courage to claim your divine reflection. The courage to claim, the audacity, the divine audacity to tell the truth of who you are. Right? Amidst the programming, the world has tried to suppress your consciousness with this programming. Do you have the audacity, the courage to stand up in the middle of the bullshit and say, you know what? This is the truth. This is the truth. All right. So number 3, the prophetic nature of speech. Every word is a seed. Every declaration is creation in motion. Your speech is command over reality. So here's a quote from Jesus, John 6:63. Or here's a quote from somebody who said they were quoting Jesus, about 10, 20 years later. All right. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Beautiful. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Right? So what is the revelation in this statement? Let me give you a second to let that one sit in your mind for a little bit. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Life and spirit are in the word. The word is not mine. This is the word of spirit. Spirit is life, right? I can do nothing without the Father. I of myself do nothing. Right? So what is this really? It's the revelation that language isn't just sound. Language is substance. I am, right? The decrees. It's not just language, right? It's substance. It is substance. It's spirit moving when I make that decree. All right? So when you declare I am, you are setting the mold through which reality must flow. To say I am broke is a prophecy. To say I am abundant, also a prophecy. Life will fulfill whichever one you worship through what? Repetition and acceptance. Remembrance and acceptance. Let me change this. We've evolved. Remembrance and acceptance. All right? Cool. You are the sower of y'all's favorite word. You are the sower of vibration. And consciousness is the soil that never rejects the seeds you plant. So, quote from Neville Goddard, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I know some of y'all's panties just got in a bunch when I said that. Feelings. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you will be moved across a bridge of incidents to its realization. What am I talking about? When we say feeling, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. What does that mean? What does that mean? Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Look at you, Sierra. Look at you, RD. Gabby, you were right too. There we go, Source. Daisy, you beautiful goddess. Being and knowing. Look at all y'all coming through. Gosh damn. God damn, y'all on point today. I love to see that shit. Assume the feeling. Remember, we talk about feeling. Even Neville said what? When I speak of feeling, I do not speak of emotion, but the acceptance of the fact that you are exactly who you desire to be. This is what it is. All right? So we assume the acceptance. We accept that we are who we desire to be. And when we accept that this is the truth, we will be moved across a bridge of incidents to its realization. All right? So this is not imagination as fantasy. It is faith in motion. Imagine that, quote unquote, imagination, acceptance of truth is faith. Faith is acceptance of truth. This is just the truth. This is who I am now. I have marked a line in the sand as of 9:17 p.m., December 11th. I am prosperity. Boom. I've made the declaration. This is who I am from this point forward. But if I don't feel like I'm prosperity when I wake up, it doesn't matter. I'm still it. It's just the truth. But what about the bank account? It doesn't matter. This is just the truth. The situation out there is what it is. But I am the truth. I am the truth. So what Jesus was trying to beat over our heads, right? Motherfuckers made a religion out of it instead. Airball. Motherfuckers threw up a half-court airball. Right? I am the truth. I am the truth. Reality is what it is, but I am the truth. Okay? So here we go. Doom, doom, doom. To speak I am is to take the invisible and make it flesh. To take the invisible and make it flesh. Number 4, the boldness of the sons of God. That right there is called the boldness of the sons of God. The true child of God does not whisper prayers of desperation. The true child of God does not whisper prayers of desperation. He speaks with the same authority as his Father. So what did Jesus say? Okay. Matthew 17:20. Another scripture for you to write down if you'd like. I'll upload the document one day. But if you like, you can write it down. So Matthew 17:20. If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Now, faith as a grain of mustard seed, to the uninitiated, we think, oh, just a little tiny little drop of faith. There's no such thing as a drop of faith. I am is just the truth. If it's the truth, that's 100% conviction, ain't it? So it's not a drop of faith. It's not a small amount of faith. You can't measure faith. You can measure belief. When you're trying to convince the ego, I believe a little bit, I believe more today, then I doubt a little bit, the belief kind of goes away, it sways. That's not faith. That's you trying to wrestle your mind into submission. God doesn't move off your belief. God moves off your faith. What do you accept to be the truth? What do I mean? What's the difference? When I just accept that I am God, that's the truth. I am prosperity, that is the truth. It's a non-negotiable, like the beautiful goddess Gabby just said, right? It's a non-negotiable. It doesn't matter if I believe it or not. It's just the truth. It doesn't matter if I doubt it or not. It's just the truth. The truth just is. It's just the truth. It's acceptance, all right? Now, why a grain of a mustard seed? Because a mustard seed knows that it's a mustard tree, plant, whatever the case may be. It knows that. It doesn't debate it. It's not wondering if it's going to grow up to be a rose. It doesn't wonder if it's going to grow up to be a tulip. A mustard seed just knows this is the truth. Even if it doubts through the cold winter, it might doubt it's going to make it. But guess what? It just knows what it is. The mustard seed knows what it is. So when we talk about this, faith as a grain of a mustard seed, this is absolute certainty and conviction because I am being the truth. When I accept what I am as the truth, boom, that's absolute conviction. That is faith of a mustard seed. That's the faith of a mustard seed. But we could insert whatever. Faith as an egg. Faith as a chicken egg. Well, the chicken egg knows it's going to grow up to be a chicken. Faith as a rose seed. Well, the rose seed knows it's going to be a rose. That's just the truth. You don't plant a rose and expect a lemon tree. Some of y'all motherfuckers haven't dropped in your head, so you might. You might. Let me not. I never know what to expect with some of y'all. Okay? But you do not plant a lemon seed and expect an apple tree. This when we talk about truth, we just accept that this is the truth. The seed I have planted is I am prosperity. This is the truth of who I am now. Therefore, it must grow to be prosperity. I just am prosperity. Hopefully that makes sense. I trust that this is clicking, okay? If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. The mountain just represents the circumstances. Because I know some of you smart asses like, if you're God, then can you move the mountain? Yada, yada, yada. Okay, right. So notice, he did not say you shall beg the mountain. Right? It's not said you shall beg the mountain. It says you shall say. You shall say to the mountain, right? Once again, emphasizing the word. The word is power. The word is law, all right? So this is the holy arrogance. To believe so completely in oneness with God that you no longer plead for miracles, you become them. To walk in divine confidence is alignment. When the weak say, I am strong, heaven hears not a request, but a decree. Going back to that Joel 3:10, let the weak say, I am strong. Not let the weak feel strong. Not let the weak try to believe they are strong. Not let the weak reprogram their subconscious mind or regulate their nervous system or robotic affirm. It didn't say, let the weak say or affirm that they are strong 20,000 times with the clicker. It simply said, let the weak say, I am strong. I am strong because I am is the truth. I am the truth. I trust this is clicking. All right? I trust this is clicking. Number 5, the mirror of declaration. Your I am is a mirror that reflects your faith. Say I'm tired and your energy obeys. Say I am renewed and life reconfigures around that word. Even Jesus used I am as the language of identification. All right. So John 8:12. What does John 8:12 say? I am the light of the world. What a bar. If that's not a mystic bar right there, I don't know what is. I am the light of the world. In John 11:25, I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the light of the world. You are. You are the light of the world. You are the resurrection and the life, right? Because we've talked about the resurrection. Remember, the crucifixion is what? When we take something in our past and we try to base our identity on it, we crucify ourselves to that situation. But the resurrection is when we use our memory the right way to remember who we are in this moment. I am love. I am whole. I am divine. I am prosperity. I am love. I am abundance. I am healed, healthy, whole, beautiful, charismatic, all those things, right? I am all the aspects of God. When I remember the truth of who I am right now, I resurrect. I resurrect. Does it mean the past just goes away? Well, those are still real experiences, but I no longer define myself. I no longer crucify myself to that. This is why even Jesus, right? He didn't reverse the crucifixion. He was able to come back because he saw himself healed. The true self could never be pierced by circumstance. The true self could never be a victim. The true self is untouched by your thoughts, by your emotions, by physical conditions, by health symptoms, by the body, by them, by that, by your SP. The true self is untouched. Always perfect. Okay? Cool. So he never spoke as one seeking God. He spoke as one revealing him. When you awaken to this awareness, you realize that your declaration is the only prayer that ever mattered. This is why I get on y'all's ass when you decree things like, I just don't know why it's not working. And I say, stop crucifying yourself to that shit. Choose a new character. Choose a new perspective right now. You get to make a choice right now, because right now is an eternity. Make the choice that this works. I am perfect. I am the perfection of God. Nothing is blocking me. Nothing is holding me back. Everything is mine right now by divine right. Everything is yours by right of consciousness. We haven't had one of these types of discussions in a while. Everything is yours by right of consciousness. It's all yours. You are everything. God cannot deny God. God will not deny God. God does not withhold love from God. Let me say it in a different way. God does not withhold itself from God. God will not withhold prosperity from God. You cannot withhold yourself from yourself. I don't know how many different ways I can say it. We are the only ones denying by not simply unconditionally accepting that you are the person that you desire to be. Unconditionally accepted. There's no more information that you need. There's nothing else to seek. There's nothing else to become. There's nothing to reprogram. There's nothing to rewire. There's nothing to affirm. There's nothing to beg for, plead for. There's nothing except for you accepting. Jump out of the plane. Jump out of the plane. Accept the truth of who you are. This is where your power. Your power is in acceptance. When you begin to accept that motherfucker out there, that SP that you desire, they can't breathe without you. They can't sleep without you, think without you, breathe without you, eat without you. You are the center of their reality because they are you. Accept it as the truth. The energy of money is you. It supports you unconditionally. It flows from within you and it reorganizes, reshapes reality to give you exactly what you want in the perfect time. When you begin to accept the truth of your existence, when you really start to walk with the holy arrogance that you are the creator, that you are the center of the universe, watch. When you make this the center of your life, this is the purpose of this Telegram chat that we've been doing. Make this the center of your life. When you walk around, the center of your life is walking around with this divine arrogance. Inhale, I am source. Exhale, I decide. Whatever is going on around me, I fucking decide. I decide. And then I decide again. Then I decide again. How long do I have to do it, Alex? Till the day you die. This is your identity now. You're not going back to sleep. This is who you are now. You decide, then you decide, then you decide, then you remember, then you decide, then you remember. And you continue to do it from the knowing that you are source. This is who you are now. You are awake now. You are awake now. All right. So a couple reflection questions. Number one. Where have I spoken as a beggar when I was born a creator? All right. Where? Now, I got 3 reflection questions for you. Remember, these reflection questions, the moment that you become aware of something, you're healed. There's no work to do. God doesn't need to reprogram itself. The moment that you become aware of it, you simply choose a new perspective. Where have I spoken as a beggar when I was born a creator? Maybe I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know why it's taking so long for things to show up. No. It's shown up because I've shown up. Where are you speaking as a beggar when I was born a creator? The money has shown up because I've shown up. I am the money. The love has shown up because I've shown up. I am the love. But I want to see it out there. Well, look at your damn self. You are the love. You are the money. You are the prosperity. You are the love. It can't get more clear than that. If I want to see love, I'm going to go look in the mirror. If I want to see fucking abundance, I'm going to look in the mirror. If I want to see prosperity, perfection, divinity, if I want to see God, I'm going to look in the mirror. See, the word will label this arrogance, right? But this is the greatest confession of the truth that you can make. You've never been separate from your creator, ever. Never. Okay? Number 2, what words have I repeated that kept me small? What words have we been repeating that have kept us small? Remember, the moment you become aware of it, right? Be honest, be honest, be honest. Give yourself this healing, right? Heal yourself in 5 seconds, right? You clicked on the thumbnail that said manifest your SP in 13 minutes with these affirmations. Yeah, I know you clicked on that shit. So now do something that's actually good for yourself. Now heal yourself in 5 seconds by answering this question truthfully. What words have I repeated that kept me small? What words have we repeated that have kept us small? I don't know if I can get this. But what about this situation? No, I am the Savior. You are the resurrection. I am the resurrection and the life. What about that situation? You are the resurrection. You can right now resurrect into a new version of yourself and completely change reality because you are reality. You are reality. Remember, identity is the master vibration or frequency, whatever you want to call it. Okay, identity is the master vibration or frequency. I don't know about any other vibration or frequency. When that old guy, that old white man was on TV late at night sometimes telling me, match the frequency of the wealth that you want. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. But I do know that me deciding that because I am source, I am prosperity, that right there is the identity. That's a choice. I've accepted this as the truth. I've accepted this as the truth. The only vibration or frequency that you ever need to worry about is right there. I am God, therefore I am the vibration of everything. Off top, off rip, I'm the vibration of everything. Now I get to choose. I am prosperity. And because I attach that to God, I simply accept that as the truth. It's the truth. This is my identity moving forward. I am already in the vibration of it. Do I have to believe it? No, it's just the truth. What if I doubt it? It doesn't matter. It's just the truth. What if I don't feel good about it? It doesn't matter. It's just the truth. You cannot become what you already are. You can't become what you already are. Cool. And then number three, how can I practice declaring the truth instead of describing illusion? This is a good one. Okay. How can you practice declaring truth instead of describing illusion? Think about it. Let's think about this very quickly, okay? Let's think about this. How could we do that? Remember, because it's going to feel exhausting if you're trying to describe reality in a different way. Okay? So the question is, how can I practice declaring truth instead of describing illusion? What is the illusion? What is the illusion, right? So you can think of the illusion as the 3D, your emotions, your feelings, all of that. All right. Now let's make this practical. I know you love practicality. Let's say that I've decided that I'm prosperity. I'm like, well, yeah, Alex, you know, I'm saying I'm prosperity. I'm trying to believe it, but the bank account still says $13, and the phone bill is coming up, and that's X amount, and the baby mama tripping. This is just what it is. So what I'm doing is I'm looking outside of me. The SP is just not here. This is just what it is. I'm looking outside of me. But my mom's always tripping. This is just what it is. I'm looking outside of me. I'm describing what I see out there as the truth. How can I declare the truth instead of describing the illusion? What is the truth? I am the truth. Okay. So what does this practically look like? All right. How would I, all right, the bank account says $14. How do I describe the truth instead of describing illusion? Well, first of all, what is the truth? Okay, so I'm the truth. God is within me. I am God. Okay, and an aspect of God is prosperity, right? So when I'm declaring this, I'm not sitting here and declaring reality. I'm not trying to speak a lie over reality. No, I'm remembering and recognizing the truth of who I am. When I say I am prosperity, I'm not talking about the bank account. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about the God within me is prosperity. I am animated by prosperity. I am the power of prosperity, the origin of prosperity. I'm the source code of it. I'm the center point of it. I'm the wellspring of it. I'm the printer of it. This is my truth. The bank account is just the bank account. So when I actually start declaring the truth of who I am, it unfolds from within me. So when I am saying, all right, accept the truth, I'm not saying to look out there and start trying to tell lies about what you see out there. That's exhausting. That is exhausting. And now you're playing the game of belief and doubt. You're, well, goddamn, like, I'm trying to hold on. But Alex, the SP isn't there. Well, everybody is you. Everybody is within you. So the truth is they couldn't go anywhere. They could never leave you because they are you. They are love, or you are love. You are the center of reality. You are the center of their reality because they're in your reality. We tell the truth about ourselves, and then we let the external reality bend to that truth. I'm not sitting here like a psychopath trying to sit out here and play like I'm blind and ignore reality. That's one of the things that always comes up. So I shouldn't ignore reality? Well, I mean, I don't think any of y'all want to drive yourself crazy. So I don't think that ignoring reality is going to be a good idea. I don't think ignoring your bills and ignoring your obligations is a good idea. Now, if you believe it is, go ahead. It's no right or wrong. I'm not going to judge you for it. You go ahead. I will judge you for it. Actually, I lied. You go ahead and do that. But it's more simple than that. Go to the truth. You are the center of reality. Begin to start telling the truth of who you are. And then let the world match that truth. Instead of trying to lie about the situation, begin to actually tell the truth about you. Nice. Because I am prosperity, if I have $14 in my account, I'm not going to go around acting like I got more money. I ain't finna do that shit. I'm not doing it. I just know I am prosperity. Therefore, everything will unfold for me. The money will unfold for me. But right now, in that bank account, that's what it looks like. So maybe I should sit down, but I still know that I'm prosperity. It's just the truth. And when I accept that as the truth, that unfolds from me. Okay? I'm not walking around telling people that I'm married. And really, reality is showing me in no contact for 3 years. That's insane. I'm going to the truth. They are within me. They are me. My identity creates. Therefore, everything will unfold for me. I know the truth. Okay? My body is in pain, right? You just dislocated a shoulder. The doctor says, let me help you. I'm not going to say, no, I'm not in pain. No, don't give me the injection. Don't pop it in place. I'm fine. Let me ignore reality. You're a psychopath. You're crazy. I'm going to get the injection, pop that motherfucker back in, numb me up. But the truth is that the spirit is untouched by what the body undergoes. So the body must catch up to the spirit. It must. So we're not talking about saying these affirmations trying to ignore reality and go drive yourself crazy. We're not playing pretend. Right? That's for children. We're telling the truth. We're going to the truth. We change our identity to the truth. Of course they're here. They're always within me. Okay? That is what I mean. That is what I mean. I trust you understand that. Go. That's a good place to end, though. That's a good place to end the actual discussion right there. So we can do questions. But I trust that made sense, y'all. It's because that's a big thing. I see that, or it should drove me crazy in the beginning too. Ignore reality. God, man. The feeling, walk around with the feeling that I have it. Oh my God. I was techniqued out. I'm not, you walking around all day just trying to do techniques. Just think good thoughts. Feel good. Ignore reality. God damn, what can I do? What can I do, right? So, I'm grateful for that version of me, though, because that version of me got me here. But I remember that version of me, or from what I can remember of that version of me was miserable. That version of me was always doubting. That version of me was always questioning itself. Always believing it was doing something wrong. It was always striving. It was always trying to live up to some expectation. It didn't even know what the expectation was. It was just reaching for something. Reaching for something. Constantly thinking you're not good enough because reality is not showing you what you want. Thinking that you're doing something. That version of me was miserable. It was absolutely miserable. Ever Elegant, I love you. I appreciate you. Cool. All right, so what else y'all want to talk about tonight? I feel good today, y'all. I feel great, you know. Gotta enjoy those days that you feel good, you know what I'm saying? There's no way you love me more, girl. I love you unconditionally. All right, so it's one of those days where I just feel absolutely wonderful. Don't start. My bad. Ooh, my bad. I know, right? We just started. Maybe I should use the restroom first and then we can get to it. Okay, RD. Did you write any successes in the chat today? Or in the Telegram today? Did you write any success stories? They don't count if you didn't write them. They don't count. It's like working out without your Apple Watch on. It don't count. It don't count unless you put it in the Telegram. So if I said congrats, I take it back. I can't tell you congrats until I see it. I appreciate you. Yeah, I felt like this one was cool. And it's interesting to pull these discussions out and said, nah. It's cool to pull these old discussions out, right? And kind of get new perspectives on it. It's fire. I'm pretty sure this one was back in like August that we did this the first time. What was the topic I just got here? I guess you'll never know, Cynthia. Cynthia, you know what I'm saying? This was a secret topic. Telegram is it? No. I have a Telegram group. There's a link tree in my bio, and there's a Telegram group chat in it, and you can go into that Telegram. I post like daily missions of things to do and reminders, and we have a bunch of conversations about random shit, about everything, reality creation, and then certain people, you know, are never serious, so they also just tell jokes in there. But me, I'm always serious. Y'all know me. We had 206 members in the what's up, Source? We had 206 members in the chat. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know what's interesting? Whenever you have a big group message, what percentage of people do you believe typically participate? I would say maybe 10% participate, but the majority of the participants is like 2 or 3% of the chat in like a typical group setting. So you might say the in this one, it might be, let's say, like 20 people that participate, but the main people that participate, it might be like 10% or like 10 people, 10 to 15 people, right? Which is fine. That's just the nature of it, right? The larger it gets, you have more people that participate. It is what it is, right? Not everybody's gonna be in there texting all day, but I appreciate y'all that do, because it's helpful, right? It keeps it engaging, right? It's fun. It's fun, and I even when we're joking, it keeps everyone focused, because the conversations always still do come back to reality creation, right? It always comes back. It always comes back. So even when y'all start talking about, anything, it always comes back, which is fine, which is fire. There we go, RD. I see the success story. Kept the mission up on your phone. That's what I'm talking about. Couldn't join the Telegram. Technical difficulties. It makes sense. You gotta be smarter than a Telegram app. I don't know why y'all keep telling me y'all having technical difficulties with the link. And then y'all say that shit with a sad face. And I don't know if y'all think that I'm gonna be sympathetic to you or try to help you. I'm not. I'm gonna talk shit. When it comes to that link, this is not a safe place. Anything else, it's a safe place. But when it comes to that link, it's not. This is not a safe place. Best manifestation story? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe my mom, cancer. She had cancer and said she only had a couple months, but now she's cancer free. I've manifested lots of money. Cars for my family. My mom's car, my dad's car. I have 2. So, lots of things. Body changes. Manifested lots of stuff. My life is, man. This is my life, right? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, this is the center of my life. I put nothing above my relationship with God, me as God, right? Yeah, Source, body changes. Look, you got interested. Body changes. Ooh, yeah, body changes, y'all. Body changes. The same way that y'all in the Telegram right now talking about changing y'all's body parts. Oh, you think that? Oh, you think hey, I'm trying. I got a DDL. Need to manifest some providers. Shit, do your thing. Do your thing. I think nothing is off limits. Absolutely, nothing is off limits. I've seen too much to think that anything is off limits. I accepted the truth that every time I thought about it was gonna get bigger. Point blank, period. Yeah. A Dominican dick lift. I already know I'm finna get a strike for that. Fuck. I mean, it's not really crazy, y'all. Like, come on. They think about it. Okay, what is off limits? Because I've had clients that have changed their weight right? And they like, okay, I'm not going to change anything except for I'm going to just decide that every time my awareness comes back to it, my body is getting in better shape. Why not do it with everything? Celebrity seems off limits. I mean, that's an assumption, KT. That's an assumption. That's an assumption. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. Except for what we decide is off limits. It's my job, girl. That non-surgical BBL. Do your thing then. I support you 100%. I support all of y'all in getting what you want. Point blank, period. If you like it, I love it. Oh, shit. If you like it, I love it. That new Audi is yours, girl. It's yours. Oh, it's yours. It's yours. I thought I had any police. I guess that's what I'm talking about, Angelica. I'm grateful to be on this walk with you. I'm grateful to be remembering with you. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I love Lexus. I got a GX 550. Fucking love that goddamn car. The GX 550, man. I'm not really even a car guy. But that when I saw it, I was like, oh, I got to have it. Yeah, that GX is incredible. Incredible. It's such a beautiful car. Such a classy, beautiful car. You can move recurring or negative thoughts with it. You just understand that they don't have any power anymore, right? That's how you remove them. You take the power away from them, then they fade away. So you have these negative recurring thoughts. Okay, cool. Well, the truth now is that they no longer matter because this is who I am. I am prosperity or whatever. So even if those thoughts come, I remind myself or I remember that they have no power anyway and they fade away, they disappear, they dissipate. But the first thing is taking the power away from them, right? If I think that they're powerful, then I'm going to be scared of them. So it's not even the thought that I'm worried about. I have the fear of the thought, the fear of that pattern, the fear of that feeling. You don't have to fear those things because they're just thoughts. They're just feelings. So take that away, allow them to just be, and now allow them to fade away. Thank you. Thank you. Is it Jaya? Did I say that correctly? Appreciate you. Is placing awareness just deciding and going about your life, or do you like touching base again? It's both. It's deciding and going on about your life. But, I mean, you'll have times when those things come back up and you remind yourself, you remember that you have it. You remember, right? So you still go back and return, but you return to the remembrance. So, yeah, that's all awareness is. That's all it is. Absolutely. Think of it as both, right? It's it's not like an affirmation where you're looping the same thing over and over again. You rest in it, right? You dwell in the awareness. You dwell in knowing that you're God. Okay? Fear your doubts because of James 1:7. Just look it up. I almost ignored it, but I was like, you know what? Do I have the energy to go up? Yes. Okay. Blessed, my bad. James 1:7. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Read the full chapter, Alex. All right. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. What does that mean, y'all? Well, I mean, it means what it means, right? Remember, when we're talking about double-minded, bro, you can only doubt. Like, doubt is only there because belief is there. Belief is only there because doubt is there. They're the same. They're just different sides of the same coin, belief and doubt. It's the fighting of the mind, right? So when we talk about doubting, we're not talking about you're walking around and you're never doubting. You never feel the feeling of doubt. It's getting beyond that. Transcend that. Just get to the truth. Accept the truth. Go to the knowing. Knowing is, there's no room for doubt because it's just the truth. It's not that you won't have the feeling of doubt. It's just that doubt does not matter to the truth. It doesn't matter to the knowing. That's all I have to say on that. Doubt doesn't matter to knowing. It doesn't matter to truth. Doubt is only a byproduct of trying to believe. Belief is only a byproduct because there was some doubt. Belief and doubt are just a tug of war of polarity. Belief, doubt. Believe, I doubt. I believe, I doubt. You can't have belief without doubt. We know. We go to know. We go to knowing. Conviction, knowing, accepting it as the truth. This is the cure. This is the cure for that double-mindedness. Trying to make yourself believe something you don't see will always lead to double-mindedness because that the ego mind is not the tool. It's not the correct tool to use, right? Remember, trying to get the ego mind to understand God is like trying to measure the ocean with a ruler. It's the wrong tool. The ego mind cannot understand the infinite. The ego mind cannot sit there and believe without doubt that you will get something that it does not see. And it has never, in all of your life, you were sitting in the church pews and nothing was happening. And now you're telling this ego mind, no, we're going to do something different. Instead of praying to a God in the sky, we're going to affirm to situations outside of us. And the ego mind's like, yeah, I'm not going to get on board with that. And so you try to get it to believe. And then you feel doubt. And then you're fighting. And then you wonder why nothing happens because you're double-minded. This is all it says. When you ask, you must believe and not doubt. Now, understand, we in scripture, like back here, when we're talking about these things, when we're talking about back in this day, remember, belief and doubt, like this isn't the same kind of translation. Belief is knowing. Faith, absolute. Knowing is absolute faith. Knowing is absolute faith. Belief and doubt, when we talk about it from the modern era, belief and doubt are a pendulum. They're a swing. They're the same swing. It's just one swing, and you swing from doubt to faith, to doubt, or doubt to belief, right? Of course I believe in God. Of course I believe in God. All right, so that's how I translate this. But so I do absolutely believe in God. You don't have to believe in God to get the life that you want, though. It's not a requirement. It's just a part of my life. It's a part of my system. It's a part of how I teach. But no, you don't have to believe in God to get what you want. You just have to know the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are is you're already everything you desire to be. What was yours, Leslie? Oh, I remember yours. It was exactly. God's gonna support you no matter what. God doesn't require your belief. Okay, what was I looking at? Damn, I can't even find what you did. I think it was under lecture discussions, right? Or lecture topics, lecture topic proposals, yeah. Oh, thank you, Leslie. Joel 2:25. Let's do a little channeling. Let's do a little channeling. $2.25. Let's scroll through. Why is this always so difficult? All right. Let's see here. He is faithful. He sends you abundant showers both autumn and spring. The threshing floor is a vast overflow of faithful year. All right, cool. This is actually very deep. All right, so let's break it down. All right, so be glad, people of Zion. All right, be glad, people of Zion. Let me hold up. Let's see here. All right, so when we hear Zion, what does Zion represent? Let's have class on Joel. We're gonna go open up your scripture if you want. Open up your Bible. We're gonna go Joel 2, and we're gonna go 23 through 25. Yeah, 23 through 25. Okay, so be glad, people of Zion, rejoice in the Lord your God. All right? People of Zion, metaphysically, what does that mean? It's the awakened state of consciousness, right? So Zion represents that inner temple. God is recognized. When we say people of Zion, it's awareness, consciousness. Exactly. All right. So rejoice in the Lord your God. All right. Rejoice in the Lord your God. All right. What's the next part? For he has given you the autumn rains because he is faithful. He sends you abundant showers, both autumn and spring rains as before. Now, when we talk about nature, we got to break down what nature means. All right. So we've got the abundant showers, okay, in autumn and then spring. All right. So autumn rains, what does that represent? Okay, it's after the harvest, right? Autumn rains come after the harvest. Right? After the harvest. Okay. The autumn rains represent what? Restoration. Okay. And then spring is just, it's a new beginning, new creation, spring. New beginning and new creation. So we have autumn representing the restoration. So both autumn and then spring representing newness. Okay, so rains as before. The threshing floors will be filled with grain. The vats will overflow with new wine and oil. Right? We always talk about bread or grain being sustenance. Right? Substance, prosperity, all of that. So basically, it's just saying that everything is going to overflow. Right? Everything is going to overflow. Cool. So I will repay you for the years the locust have eaten, the great locust and the young locust. All right. What does that mean? The locust. What does a locust do? Think of the nature of a locust. It's just mindless consumption, right? A locust is unconscious as a motherfucker. They come out and they just destroy shit. Unconscious consuming. Right? This is what the locusts are. So I'll repay you for the years the locusts have eaten. This is also a story of you, right? So what could it represent? The locusts were eating. Mindless consumption of whatever. It could be information of the external reality. Mindless consumption of the external reality. So all those times you were believing that your lack was the truth of who you are because you saw that out there. You're going to be restored for it. So this is what it means. It's going back to the truth. It's saying, okay, when you come into Zion, when you come into that awakened state of consciousness, all the shit that you did in your past no longer matters. You will be restored. This is all it's saying, right? So it's beautiful when we start breaking this down like this. The meaning that you get in scripture is always so profound. Just in that little ass, those two things. All right. The threshing floors will be filled with grain. Somebody can probably tell me what threshing means. The threshing, I'm sure that has symbolism. Let's look it up. What does threshing mean? The threshing. The process of separating grain from corn or other crops. It represents judgment, purification, and the separation of the quote unquote righteous grain from the wicked chaff. I think that somebody put that in the chat, huh? Somebody put that in the chat. I thought I saw that in the chat. So the threshing floors will be filled with grain, right? The vats will overflow with new wine and oil. So we're talking about that righteous separation, right? You right now starting to, hold up, this is who I really am. This is who I really am. I don't have to accept everything as the truth. This is the truth, okay? Very beautiful. Very beautiful. We're always coming back to self. We're always coming back to self. Absolutely, Leslie. Hopefully that helped. Trust that it did. No attachment to the lower self ego for sure, right? And so the next part is, I will repay you you will have plenty to eat until you are full, and you will praise the name of the Lord your God, who has worked wonders for you. Never again will my people be ashamed. Then you will know that I am in Israel, that I am the Lord your God, and that there is no other. Never again will my people be shamed. Oh, never again, from knowing the truth. Now, when you read this just literally, you're like, be glad, people of Zion. It must be talking about a specific person, a specific people from Zion. For he has given you the autumn rains because he is faithful. He has sent you. Be grateful for the weather. Be grateful because it rained in the autumn and in spring it rained. And now you're going to have this harvest outside of grain and new wine and oil. Ah, yes, he'll repay you. If we have faith in God, he'll repay us for the years the locust. So now, even if we have, something going out there where the locust, or we have famine, we can go to this verse and trust in God to repay it. It don't mean none of that shit. This is a story of consciousness. So when we start reading it literally, the people who wrote this shit weren't even literalists. When we start reading it literally, we get lost in the sauce. We get lost in the sauce. That shit's so superficial. But when we start understanding the meaning, what does the locust mean? The mindless consumption. These are animals that mindlessly consume. The threshing floors, the separation of the higher self, the lower self. This is of you. The threshing floors, the seat of the soul, right? The fourth energy center. So you have 3 below, you have 3 over, then you have the seat of the soul. You have the heart center right smack dab in the middle. We're talking about the threshing floors, right? He has sent you abundant showers. So we're talking about the autumn and the spring rains. We're talking about the restoration rains, the rains before the harvest, right? The rains of renewal after the famine. All right. So God has restored you in all these times in your life. I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten, the years that you were asleep. None of that shit matters. The only thing that matters is right now. Who do you choose to be? You could be in lack for 23 years, sleep for 18 years, identifying with betrayal for 22 years. But the moment you remember, you will be repaid. You will be repaid. You will have plenty to eat until you are full. And you will praise the name of the Lord your God, who has worked wonders for you. Never again will my people be shamed. When you know who you are, never again will you be shamed. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. When you start diving into this shit metaphysically, yeah. This is why when I do get pushback every now and then. So why are you in the scripture? If you're spiritual, why are you reading that book? It's a book of oppression. Well, I mean, I guess, if that's what you take from it. Cool. What do you think is the meaning of the mark of the beast? That if we get it, will we be punished? No, the scripture is not talking about an AI chip in your head or in your hand or wherever the hell they're talking about. Right? All that is nonsense. Okay, when we talk about things like the mark of the beast or the Antichrist, I want you metaphysically, what do you think the Antichrist is? I would love to get y'all's perspective. What do you think the Antichrist is? If we're all Christ, then what is the Antichrist but someone who has forgotten that they are Christ? That is it. Someone that they have forgotten that they're Christ. They're just asleep. They're living in the lower self, right? So you talk about the mark of the beast, it's just the lower nature. It's it. It's not that's it. It's not accepting the truth. It's not some great war. It's not some great war that's going to happen down here, right? Everything takes place in consciousness. This is just a story of consciousness. When read literally, it becomes something that is used to control. Yeah, 666. Even when you talk about 666, right? We can break that down to 6 carb. Yeah, we can break that down to everything. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. You can talk about carbon. It's interesting though, people just run off with these conspiracies. All right. People just run off with these conspiracies. But this is not a literal book. The motherfuckers just start, it doesn't even start off literally. It don't even start. That motherfucker starts off with how creation is made. They come, like, guys. The first. It's not even. People back then didn't even write literal stories. So, yeah, that's my opinion on the mark of the beast and all that. When you open your mind to read it, and nowadays we have Google, right? If you, like, the same with I literally just typed in threshing, and I was like, okay, threshing, a spiritual meaning of threshing. But as soon as it says to separate, I was like, oh, separate, of course. And when we talk about separation, we're not talking about, we're either talking about the separation between the higher self, the lower self, or like the lower energy center, the living in your lower nature and your higher nature. We're talking about separation between those who know that God dwells within them, that the kingdom is within them, that follow the teachings of Jesus, or those that believe that God is separate from them. All right. So do you believe in unity or separation? Right. So when we talk about separation, it's typically those types of things, right? Even when we get into like the chosen people and the Gentiles, this is not bloodline, right? God is pure spirit. God is all that there is. God has no preference on your skin tone and where you were born in the world. That's a ridiculous thing to even believe. It's an absolutely ridiculous statement. We try to give God these human attributes so it can justify our prejudice and our desire for control and our desire for superiority and to put down others and to have some kind of sense of holier than thou-ness about us, right? Or to control people and to keep people in line. So we give God these human aspects, but God is not a being. God is spirit. Right? God is spirit. So, yeah, God has no preference on your skin tone, your race, where you were born, your gender, your sexual preference, all of these things. That's simply the human mind. That's simply the human mind. Simply the human mind. Buenos noches. Impersonal, unconditional. Impersonal and unconditional. I like being human. From this perspective right now, I'm not trying to have alien sex. So I enjoy being in the human body. Don't put me in no other kind of body and expect me to procreate right now. I gotta wait till I start over in another life to do that shit. How do you deal with confusion? I've got so much good in my head. Confusion on what? Yeah, my bad. I do take a left turn pretty quick. I just swerved the left. Let me get back on the right track. You're right. You know what? Hell yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Let me stay on track. You just having a dream and you wake up in another body. All of a sudden you wake up in a insectoid body and your wife is by you asking to have sex and you're like, oh hell no, get away from me. Ugh. Wake up like a fucking nightmare. When you have so much in your mind. You in nightmare, I thought she was trying to attack me. She was just trying to make love to me. I'm talking, when you have so much in your mind, you don't know what path to take. Then decide that all paths are fine and just take the next step, right? You're trying to plan 20 years ahead of you. You're trying to plan 20 years in the future, and there's only right now. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? Tomorrow will have problems of its own. Even scripture says that, right? Why are you worried about all that when you're here right now? What can you do right now? See? We confuse ourselves because we underestimate what we can actually get accomplished right now. You can only do what you can do right now. You can only be here right now. A half cockroach, humanoid, alien body. You wake up in that motherfucker and you look in the mirror and just freak out. Hell no. A giant cockroach, bruh. In your past life, that's what you really are in your past life. You were half cockroach, half praying mantis, half human. Oh my God. Hell nah. Imagine just waking up in that reality. You got 6 little half cockroach kids running at you. A cockroach wife trying to come run up and kiss you. You think they're chasing you. But that's a nightmare. What? I'm waking up immediately. God damn. They're heartbroken. I don't care. Leave me alone. What the hell did I create? Roaches are disgusting. So, as y'all know, I've told y'all the story where I had a spot where I had a roach infestation. Did I tell y'all this story? I definitely told y'all that story. I don't know how many of y'all actually remember that story. Roaches I became an expert on roaches at that time in my life. An absolute expert on roaches at that point in my life. I could tell you everything about them. I knew the different species of them, and yeah, it was terrible. Circle back to the details. Make a choice. Just choose, right? Choose. You already have a perception of what you think it is. Just change your perspective on it. Change the story that you're telling about it. And every time you think about it, remind yourself of that story. And then allow time to do the work. Allow it to unfold. I've had an apartment with roach infestation. I had an apartment with cricket infestation. That one was crazy because I don't know what it was. It was this new apartment and the crickets were so bad. Hundreds of them would get in the apartment. It was terrible. They would jump through like the light fixtures. Yeah, it was terrible. I couldn't wait for the winter time. It was crazy. I mean, because I had this 2-floor condo. They were all through that motherfucker. I mean, I had to sleep with the light on for a long time. It was everywhere. They were everywhere. They were everywhere. It was so terrible. But the roaches was. Let me tell y'all the roach story. Let me be unserious for a little bit and tell y'all the roach story. All right, so it was in Monroe, Louisiana. Okay. Monroe, Louisiana. So anyways, I moved into this place And at the time, I just needed a place. So I moved in, and all of my stuff at that time was in a storage unit. Okay? So the first night, the only thing that I bought there was an air mattress and one box of clothes. All right? For some reason, I didn't sleep in the bedroom that night. I had the air mattress. I just put it up in the fucking living room. I just got the keys, paid the deposit, opened up the door. Cool. When I opened up the door, went in, opened up the air mattress. It was getting dark, and I laid down. Cool. All of a sudden, I hear like taps on the floor, like running. And I'm thinking, fuck, is that a mouse? Because it sounded so big. So I go to the light, I turn on the light. Like, what's going on? Because as soon as I turned off the light, it was pitch black. Let me tell you, it was a roach. That motherfucker was trying to climb the wall, but it was so heavy. Every time it tried to climb the wall a little bit, it would fall, pop. And it would try to go up again, it would fall, pop. I said, what the hell? What the hell is that? What the hell? So I had some roach spray, and I sprayed it. Matter of fact, there was already roach spray in there, which is crazy. So I sprayed it. All right? So I killed that motherfucker, and so I slept with the light on. Now, for the next couple days, it became the war of the roaches in there. Big roaches, little roaches. I'm talking about the roaches weren't even scared of me. So I remember once I had walked into the bathroom, right? I walked in the bathroom, I had to pee. And as soon as I opened my eyes, it's two roaches. It's like, they're like two different species. One of them was short and fat. The other one was long and skinny. They're just looking. Like, they're looking at me like I'm bothering them. So as soon as I see them, all of a sudden they run. There was a little crack on the ceiling, a little crack. When I tell you both of them one at a time, like squeezed through that crack, and like it looked like a cartoon. You ever seen a cartoon where it's like the characters, they like wiggle and squeeze through a tight space and pop out on the other side? It was like that. That shit was so disgusting. So disgusting, right? So I went and told the people, like, hey, look, there's a roach problem. Hey, there's a roach problem here. I need some help. They acted like they couldn't understand what I'm saying at first. What? There's a roach problem. There's roaches in there. I need y'all to fix it, right? I've already done research. So they're like, oh, we'll get somebody to spray. I'm like, no. You don't need somebody to spray. It's infested. We need a Terminator out here. There's a nest somewhere. Like, I'm outside talking to the neighbors. Do y'all have problems? Yeah, man, we do. Y'all don't say anything? Like, come on, come help me. They're like, oh, we just deal with it. So I went to work one day and I came back. Still haven't brought shit in there. It's literally just me and an air mattress, right? I didn't bring anything in there. So when I came in, all the cabinets were open. It just smelled like liquid. I'm like, oh, hell nah. All they did was spray. So I go back up there and I'm like, look, they're still there. Because there's a couple dead ones. When I come back, there was a couple dead ones. I was like, they're still there. She says, oh, we spray. I said, no, you need a Terminator. The spraying's not going to do anything. Okay? And then I told her, this is when I lost it. This is when I flipped out. I said, there's still even some dead ones. She said, oh, they're dead? I said, yeah. She said, that means it's working. Bitch. Woman. What do you mean that means it's working? Right? No, so anyways, I started taking pictures. Every time I saw her, I started taking pictures of them, and I would just send the email to the fucking office. I just sent an email, and I went down there. I went off of them a couple times, and then I was like, look, I'm not paying for anything here. I'm not paying rent until y'all fix this. Huh? So I'm sending them emails every damn day with it. Anyways, I didn't pay rent. And I'm like, look, you have to let me break this lease. They're like, no, yada, yada, we have to do this. I was like, all right, that's fine, cool. So we ended up going to court. And when we went to court, I remember I was a couple minutes late. I didn't pay shit. I didn't pay a goddamn thing. When I walked into court, the judge was like, "Hey, tell me the problem." Shit, I told him everything. I said, "Look, bro, it's roaches in there. They're dirty. You know that roaches they carry, diseases. And if you have respiratory problems, it can be bad for you." I just started giving him the rundown. But he's in there laughing while I'm saying, I was like, "Look, I've got the pictures." The lady was telling them, she was like, "Yeah, but we came and we sprayed it." I was like, I don't know why they want me to stay here. This place is disgusting, right? I can't sleep. I don't have anything moved in. It's infested. I see hand buckets of roaches every day. Every day, right? So he was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I don't want this to go on my record. I want to break the lease." He was like, "When can you be out?" I said, "I can be out right now." I just have one box. I can be out right now. She was like, "All right, cool." He let me go. And so I went there and I got my box. I didn't even keep it in there. I just kept it in the car. I just went there, put the keys down on the fucking counter and left. Never came back there. All right, so that place was disgusting. Did you know that roaches, let me tell y'all a fun fact about roaches. Do you know how they remember where they're going? You know how they mark their steps? They dip their feet in feces, in shit. And they walk and they mark. That's how they mark where they've been. So anywhere a roach has stepped, roach shit has been there. This is how roaches mark their steps, with feces. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Google it. You know what else is disgusting about them? Did you know? This is going to piss you off when I tell you this. It's going to piss you off. Did you know that if a roach is touched by a human, it will go bathe itself? Think about that. You know how disrespectful that is? If a roach is touched by a human, it will go bathe itself. It will go wash itself vigorously. Them motherfuckers think we're gross. I don't think y'all fucking understand what I'm saying. The roaches, that ugly ass brown, boo-boo brown ass roach, thinks we are disgusting. It will wash itself after it's touched by a human. That shit just makes me want to kill all of them when I see them on sight. Bitch, y'all are fucking disrespectful. First of all, y'all are disrespectful. Y'all are fucking disgusting, disrespectful little motherfuckers. You know what? Let me teach you something. Let me teach you about your goddamn self. You better not ever motherfucking yeah, I'ma stomp that bitch out. So yeah, it gets real personal. It gets real personal. That shit is disgusting though. House flies will spit on your food and wash it. I said, "Are they hurting you?" They're bothering me. Yeah, motherfuckers joining the live right now. It's like, what is this man talking about? What is this man talking about? But yeah, anyways, that was back in my younger days. That was one of my first apartments. If I had known what I know now, I'd have just got rid of them in consciousness. But back then, your boy was asleep. Your boy was asleep. Your boy was asleep. Damn, I got good. How old am I? Hell yeah, Leslie. I always trying to know my name and shit, or my age and stuff. I'm old enough. Oh, bed bugs? Yeah, I had bed bugs before too in the younger days. I had bed bugs. Oh, man. That was terrible too. Why am I itching like this sitting on that damn couch? What is going on? I had bed bugs too. I've had a lot of issues. I had a lot of things back then. Sorry, y'all thought I heard something. Shut up, Flex. I didn't know y'all could hear that shit. I didn't know y'all could hear that shit. That's funny. Spread the propaganda. Am I watching myself right now? You must be, Shine. You must be. All right, what else y'all want to talk about? I ain't gonna lie, your boy about to sign out for a second. It's 10:30. I am tired. I got roaches. Get right. Already got right, you feel me? No musty SPs, that's cool too. Queen J, you ain't forget, huh? You stayed focused. Wrong level of what? Wrong level of what? Anything with bugs? That's cool, that's cool. Think the best way is to internalize what I say. Well, it's to not try to intellectually grasp it, but to what? Accept it as truth, right? So when we talk about this reality creation space, when we talk about unity consciousness or oneness, when we talk about intellectually grasping, we'll often think of it from this perspective of we have to understand. Okay? We have to understand. However, understanding is still an aspect of the mind or of the ego, right? And it can be very difficult to understand the infinite. So this isn't information to intellectually grasp. It is simply to accept as the truth. It is to rest in the truth, right? So that's the best way. Accept it as truth, right? Accept it as truth. See, if we're God, everything I'm seeing is a creation within me. That's exactly the truth, right? You think that awareness is not within the body is within awareness, right? Remember, awareness is everything. Everything is within you. It's much more profound than everything is in this physical body. You're not even in this physical body. There's just a quote unquote construct, right? Called the ego, which is a concession that gives us the illusion of perceiving life through this physical vessel. But we're not it. Okay? We're not it at all. How do you know there's infinite realities? I'm still thinking about the 5 people one. It's the only way that free will works. It's the only way that you can have exactly what you want in this reality is if there's infinite. Right? Either there's infinite or there's one. You're the only one in this reality that is real. So either there's infinite and everybody gets their own, or there's one, which you are in right now. And that's it. Thank you for what? Do you remind yourself daily that you are the I am? Yes. Well, it's just a knowing at this point now. It's not really a something that I have to constantly remind myself, but it is the core foundational truth of my life. right? So that's how this is how I go down this journey. I make it the core foundational truth of my life. Okay, you've seen my future. Keep going. This motherfucker here is crazy. All right. There's always somebody in the comments just flexing that ego. All right, how do I handle stomach pain on my SP test? Yeah, the stomach pain doesn't create, right? You take away the power from it. Stop believing that it's doing something, right? And simply allow yourself to flow through it, right? You're still who you desire to be no matter what. You're still exactly who you desire to be no matter what. I know, straight wild. How do you know the right questions to ask? What would be the wrong question to ask? When I first started to accept yourself as the I am, how did I remember with awareness? Start to accept yourself as the I am with awareness. How did you remember with awareness? I just remembered. Just remembered. Just remembered. Subconsciously. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So understand this. When we talk about subconscious, conscious, superconscious, unconscious, guys, those are just concessions that we make as humans to try to understand something that's unexplainable. But no one's ever measured the subconscious mind. There's only one mind. There's only I am. Right? So it's not that you're trying to get a certain part of yourself to accept something. You just are God. You are the whole of God. Right? To say that you have to reprogram a subconscious or a superconscious or an unconscious, all of that is trying to divide what cannot be divided, right? You're falling for the illusion. Okay? Just accept what you want as truth and allow that to unfold. It's the truth. It's just a fact. It's just the truth. Creating a construct within you of the subconscious mind and believing that you have to walk through life and program it. Okay? Believing that you have to walk through life and program it. You're creating this construct you're creating this barrier in between you and what you desire. But there is no barrier. My thoughts on religion. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of religion. But whatever you believe or whatever helps you to get closer to the life that you want, do that. But me, I'm not a religious guy. I was born in the Catholic faith, right? I was born into Catholicism. My goal now, or my belief now, is anything that does not start, the foundation isn't God is within you, you are God, is not for me. That's my belief on religion. I believe that religion is a perversion these days. I think most religions are ridiculous concepts. They just pit people against people, and they give you this false sense of identity as a sinner, as somebody that's small. It has you waiting until after death to get what you want. It leaves everything out of your hands. It strips power. Some even go as far as to have you give your money to the church. Right? So all of these things are just, they're just illusory. Right? Just illusory. Okay? Go deeper, come on, it's crazy. Y'all are wilding tonight in this chat. All right, y'all. I'm gonna keep this one concise. I'm about to jump off of here, play around in Telegram, and then take my ass to sleep. All right. Have to believe it with emotion. Nah, you don't. You just have to know it's true. Belief, emotion, all of that is irrelevant. Just makes it difficult. But all right, y'all. I shall see y'all tomorrow. We'll probably do 2 again tomorrow. Yeah, we'll probably do 2 again tomorrow. Okay. Born of sin because we have forgotten the rest of the way. Hey, man, you better preach that shit. Preach that shit. That is the true definite. That's such a good point to leave it on, right? We have the quote unquote born in sin. Remember, sin is just missing the mark. Born into sin is just simply the statement that we were born into forgetfulness. The fall was never a fall out of God. It was just a fall into forgetting. That's it. So the quote unquote born sinner, the perverted definition of sinner is some dirty rag that's unworthy of the kingdom. The true definition of the sinner is just you missed the mark. You were just born into forgetfulness. That is it. That is it. You were born into forgetfulness. So when you start reading these things and it's talking about sinners in scripture, that's what it's talking about. It's not talking about you being unworthy. It just means you've forgotten. You were born into forgetfulness. That was it. So hopefully that helps. Beautiful comment. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Love y'all and peace.